it's at the beginning, I would like to ask if it would be okay for everyone if I would speak in English. Because I know there are some guests joining us from other countries, as far as I know, even one composer from Tehran. So that's the reason I would try to speak in English, but only if this is okay for everyone. Is this okay? Yeah?
Yes.
Super. Wunderbar. Thank you very much. So again, thank you for the invitation and thank you all for joining us. Um, for tonight, I thought I will have the focus on vocal music, and I want to present two pieces of mine. The first one is a piece for cello and soprano, and the second piece will gonna be a piece for two female voices. So the first one I've composed at the end, somehow at the end of last year. The title is Of Asphyxia, and it has been premiered at the beginning of this year in January by Ultraschall Berlin, by Eva Resch and Martin Smith. Eva Resch is a soprano singer based in Hamburg, and she teaches also at the Musikhochschule Lübeck. And Martin Smith is a Berlin-based cellist who is also a member of Saffron Ensemble. So actually, Eva Resch contacted me, I guess, almost before 3 years. And as as she contacted me, it was very clear for her that she wants to make a project with the main theme failure, scheitern. And so it is a very hard theme. So all these years, she was somehow also busy with the applications for the project, for the fundraising. And this was also for me, this time in between was also a somehow opportunity for me to have this theme over a long time in my thought and to come to it over and over again. So when I today, after all these 3 years and after having the piece composed, come back to this theme again and try to summarize all my thoughts over these 2 and 3 years. Actually, it's a very long journey. I'm also very happy that I can talk with you all about this piece and this project because everything is very, very much new for me myself. So it helps me a lot, helps me personally a lot to come back to everything and to review and to talk about it. So as I said, I had this theme for over 2 years in my mind. And I would today say failure, scheitern. Mm, it has very different sides. It has different aspects. And I think for me, so I will mention some aspects which I was dealing with, but I think at the end, all of these different aspects have a big impression on a human being, on a person, and on its body. So failure can happen at the level of a private life. It can be the failure of a friendship, or the failure in the relationship of a mother-daughter. It can be the failure on the level of work and the working environment of each of us, or a failure in this or that project. I think more or less all of us have somehow an experience, a feeling of being scheitert, failure. And I think it has also much big dimensions. For example, the dimensions of failure by a state, by a society, by so historical happenings which lead to catastrophes. So not really by chance. I'm watching also these days so some documentations of Arte about um, civil war in Spain, which was somehow between I think 1935, 36, and it was somehow also like an upbeat to the Second World War. And it's for me personally, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, not interesting. It's very necessary to find this view how it started at that time. Because actually, the Spain had at that time, I think, more or less Republican government, elected, totally democratic. But the point which led to this catastrophic of the civil war was that all the reforms which were going on were, for example, has been doing so harsh that the government couldn't take all these different parts of the society with itself. So later, there was this what do we say, putsch. Okay, I don't have the the English word. The German word is putsch, which was the start of all this civil war, and it escalated more and more because all these different parts of the society, the government, the church, the communists, the anarchists, and the big part of the still monarchy um, fan of the society, they couldn't find this common way, this common line, and this standing opposite each other. This was this was a um, this was the main point of the civil war. So one have to say there was also big intervention from other countries, England, from Russia, from Germany. So it escalated and escalated. But so I come to an end with the history of Spain. But what I wanted to say is the failure on so big dimensions, which results to so historical uh, catastrophes. And it is also not so by chance that I'm thinking again about Spanish Civil War as actually as an Iranian nowadays, there are so big challenges we're going through, and I would say, I would also use the word failure on what we are experiencing today. I would say at the most hard for us Iranian, but somehow on the world politic, it is something common between all of us. We are experiencing this failure on each every corner. And I think the most hard point or side of this failure for me as an Iranian is right now observing this huge split that came up through the Iranian nation as a nation. So I myself, all my life, this 46 years, I have never experienced such a split between the Iranian and between the how they think and the manner they are treating each other. This is the most hard point, I think, most failure, because this manner of treating each other I had never experienced within the Iran, within the Iranian people. And above that, beside this bitter reality, so we are facing failure within the domestic politic in Iran, in the country, and we are facing this foreign policy failure on the world, on the whole world. Um, so so somehow it's for me personally very crazy that I was already involved in this theme of in the last 2 and 3 years, but it is now exactly my life. This is the different layers of my life going through all this failure and failure and failure. And even I come back to what I already mentioned. I think all these failures on different aspects and levels and sides, they leave a trace on the um, on the on the physic of each body, and and somehow it's also crazy for me how our society, how we are going through a time with very uh, so I give some concrete examples. So panic attacks are part of things that we are hearing around us. This state of body where you are not able to concentrate yourself. You have time, but you cannot work. You have time, but you cannot do anything. You cannot even cook for yourself. You have time, but heart beating is so fast and so so harsh. So these are all for me the physical aspects of failure. Um, yes. So from this point, I come back to the title of my piece of asphyxia. So asphyxia is actually a medicine term. I myself never heard about it till I read it in a poem by Henri Michaud. And at the beginning, I had the feeling, oh wow, this is a strange word. It doesn't really match to the context of the poem. But later, slowly, I could feel this meaning in the whole context of the poem. And it's the state of being unable to breathe. It's the state of body where, because of lack of oxygen, which comes to an organ of the body. So this is asphyxia. Um, so at this point, I would suggest we hear the piece once. This is, as I said, for cello and soprano. I will check. There is yes, Putsch is cooked. Thank you. So now I would, mm, so. So this is not a short piece. Uh, if you want, I can also recommend hearing it with headphone if you like. And yes, I'm happy to hear it with you all.
s'il te plaît. Est-ce que tu peux m'aider. Tu peux m'aider. Tu peux m'aider.
Okay, vielen Dank. Ähm, Danke. Ähm, genau, vielleicht kann ich, so, again, English. Coming back to English, I will share with you the score of the piece. So I need a moment. Yeah, so. Um, as you certainly have noticed, um, the piece uses only one sentence, and this is a French sentence. Est-ce que tu peux m'aider, s'il te plaît? Entschuldigung, liebe Camille, nicht gut
Sehr
aussprechen.
gut.
Äh, can you help me, please? And So can you help me, please? This is the sentence which is being repeated and repeated and repeated by the singer. And actually, this was the sentence I've heard repeated and repeated and repeated from an old French lady as I was in Paris with a scholarship at the Cité Internationale des Arts. There was a bakery in the near which I went for buying. Delicious, very delicious things, I have to say. And this old lady actually dressed very simply, but very elegant and a little bit old-fashioned. And she repeatedly asked for help with a very shy voice and a very shy manner. And she was somehow a mystery for me because I, by chance, saw her also in the streets in the near, in other live positions. And one day I've heard her speaking fluently German with a passerby. So I deeply had the feeling of she's a very educated person. And in this age, she has to ask for help. And this is a very um, hard situation for she. And this was again this one of the sides of failure and coming to this state of helplessness and asking for help, but even in this very, very shy manner. So it was a somehow very hard decision for me to compose the whole piece just using this one sentence of, "Can you help me, please?" Um, I hesitated for a long time, and I thought, okay, I will try this, and I will see how it will go on. And one thing that helped me a lot, I came back to the work of Samuel Beckett, which is already since many, many, many years interesting for me. I came back to many different works of him, for example, Malone Dies or Molloy, or even the famous Waiting for Godot. And I try to observe how he's dealing the whole time with the same theme uh, and with the same words and with the same sentences, but keeping it vivid and going on and going on. Okay, going on is also a quotation of him. By the way, there's also this very famous quotation of Samuel Beckett. You all probably know. Um, Try again, fail better. So these are all thoughts in my mind for all these years. So I come back to the piece. So it was at the end a decision that I work only with this one sentence. But then even also observing this French lady there in Paris, I thought asking for help is also not a thing that I can do it suddenly now, but it's actually a process. First of all, understanding I am in a state that I need help. And I think this is a a phase, a very important phase of a failure of coming to this helplessness and understanding that I am in this state. So, and I think then the next step is being able, daring to ask for the help. And I thought, even this cannot happen from now to the next moment. This is also a process. And on the basic of all these thoughts I'm telling you, I decided to start the piece with a cello solo as uh, a state of not even knowing that I need the help. And I then changed to this humming by the singer, and even humming in the very low register, which has a, for me, very special color, humming with a closed mouth, bocca chiusa. Um, exactly. For me, was somehow a symbol of, okay, I understand, I can give a sign from myself, but it is not yet expressed in certain words. And then later I changed from humming to speaking the word, est-ce que tu peux m'aider, s'il te plaît? And even the only variation is sometimes I also use s'il te plaît, and sometimes I haven't used it, and sometimes I use just a part of the sentence, tu peux m'aider. And the wonderful Eva, she did it in a way that sometimes it's not clear if she's asking this or if she's saying this as a information, or if she's wondering she's having help right now. So, and I think one very important aspect was for me this pure singing, because I think the human voice, and somehow for me in this register, in this second octave, it is very expressive. I think it's somehow one of the most expressive media for the communication. So it was also very important for me to use this, let's say, pure tones, as you see, for example, here in these two measures, 49, 50. So, so I went once to Hamburg to visit Eva, so that I can hear her special colors, because so it's very normal. Each of us has another color, and to find the really the tones I was looking for, so which are expressive, which are somehow in this high register, but still not so high, and still have a certain quietness in itself. So and as you see, sometimes I haven't composed the singer's line completely, because there was also this idea of walking, and she did it also in the concert. So somehow she had to sing by heart without notes. So this was also the reason I tried to somehow make it easier for her. Exactly. So one other important aspect was for me this, I thought, okay, so I am now in the state of asking for help. But even this, if I want to speak it out, um, sometimes it's the case you you decide it and you want, and then you can't. And then sometimes it's the case you want it and you start it and you interrupt yourself. You cannot go on. And this was exactly the idea that I even the singer starts asking for help, est-ce que tu, and then she changes to singing, and I somehow more or less the same repeated this block of starting and interrupting. Exactly. What else I can tell you about the piece? Also, one side of all this state of being unable, uh, I thought it's somehow very unpredictable. This is combined with a certain uncertainty, and this is something very fragile. What you will experience, for example, at this moment of asking for help, because so one day I decided I gave her money because actually it was very difficult for me to get near because it was very, very special. The lady was very special. And then one day I thought, okay, now you can go and you give her money. And I've done this. And this eye contact that we had, I had the feeling she starts crying. So I mean, this is the thing what I mean when I say there is uncertainty and the situation is unpredictable. This is fragile, and um, so I think I was also um, working somehow fragile with, for example, this technique of taking over the tone of the singer from the cello, and but as a very high overtone, and even bowing behind the point that you put your finger on the string. So it was very risky, but it went at the end every time very well. So this was even also a special experience for me in this piece. And also, yes, there was this sound of so I read myself from the score, reducing finger pressure, searching and showing all the sounds in between. Exactly, reaching this F sharp and then releasing the finger pressure while actually bowing from molto sul tasto to later to poco sul ponticello. So we know that the color changes a lot, and it results to different sounds, different overtones. Um, it was a little bit challenging by the rehearsal, but even there are some sounds you cannot fix them, you cannot write them, you can try. I've tried this in this art, in this manner. So art was the German word. So exactly. Mm, so I've already talked a lot, almost 1 hour. So I would say if you have some urgent questions, I can answer this. And then we can go on to the next piece for two female voices. So it was somehow a lot of input, I think, from my side. Also somehow about difficult themes like failure. Anyway.
If there's no other question, I would have one or two questions.
Yes.
Um, are there some theatrical thoughts in there in your piece that maybe these two parts have a role or should stand for something? So is the cello, does it mean the environment where you have to, where you fail or what or
Actually, no. Actually, I really thought the both as one
Mhm,
sound source.
mhm,
Um, so mm, above everything what I've told you, I mean about the context of the piece at the end. So these are two sound sources, and we are, as composers, we are keen in finding the connections and composing everything in each other. But there were some other theatrical elements, actually a very, very small one, and this was that the singer starts somehow in the middle or two-thirds of the stage, and at the end she's somehow in front of the stage, standing somehow also in front of the cello player. So these are some very, very, very slow steps, and maybe six, seven, eight is enough for the whole piece. But otherwise, I think it was very important for me to be really focused on the music. And I think this was also, I mean, on the music and on that theme I wanted to focus on. And I think that was the reason I thought I don't need any other sentence as this, only one, because only in that way I can express this helplessness. So,
Thank you. The second question is about uh, have you, during this process, thinking about failure, do you also think about the beauty of failure? I have sometimes feeling in this piece that there are really some beautiful parts also in there.
um, certainly. And I think this has two aspects for me. The one aspect is um, mm, you grow up with failure.
Mhm,
Um, this is very hard. This is at the moment of experiencing this failure, this is hard, simply very hard. But afterwards, if you manage to overcome this, if you manage to ask for help, you yourself or other person, um, you grow up, and I think this is the beauty on one side, and on the other side, I think the beauty is I was very much searching today because so on the in German we have the word Ausweg. I think it's a very very good word. So it's
The way out in English.
the way out, exactly, the way out. And in Persian we have the word istisol, and this Persian word is for me is a combination of even also the German word Ausweg. These are for me a combination of one, failure, scheitern, to be in a situation where you need to search the way out, you need to, you need the way out. And on the other hand, it also has something with hope to do. it is also about having hope, because without having hope, you do not look for the way out, you know? So, so Bernhard, I think this is the beauty I I feel in all this thing.
And one part, one sentence of Leonard Cohen came in my mind from the song Anthem. There's the sentence, "There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." And then there was
Yes,
this part. It was really nice. Thank you.
yes, thank you.
I think we're all eager to hear the second
The second
piece.
piece. So I go back
Thank you.
3 years ago, so 4 years. The next piece, A la Garganta. So bis zu Kehle. I don't find a English translation. Tagaluga, anyway. A la Garganta, Tagaluga, bis zu Kehle. I've written 2022, September 2022. And it's based on not just one, but a few sentences and lines from a poem by Federico Garcia Lorca. And again, this time by chance, Federico Garcia Lorca died very young, somehow I think at the beginning of the Civil War in Spain.
36, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. 36. Very young. And this was actually, it's even hard now, it's not clear the facts about his death. So the hoped sentence I'm using in this other piece is even in Spain. No ves la herida que tengo desde el pecho a la garganta. Jetzt Deutsch. Siehst du nicht diese Wunde, die ich trage, vom Brust bis zur Kehle? Und jetzt das als Persisch muss ich auch sagen. این زخم را میبینی که سینه مرا تا گرگاه بردریده. Und genau, in diesem Sinne würde ich sagen, wir hören das Stück, wenn es keine Fragen gibt.
Eine kurze Antwort. He was
Ja.
murdered by the Frankists.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Okay, so ich muss jetzt freigeben. Augenblick.
In Sachen Ra mi bini bajo la luna gitana. In Sachen Ra, in Sachen ¿no ves la herida? In Sachen bajo, in Sachen Ra, ¿no ves cinema Ra? La herida que tengo, hey, Ra, cinema Ra. ¿No ves? Cinema Ra. Bajo la luna gitana. Desde el pecho in Zahra mi bini che si ne marrà Gale barderide ¿No ves la herida que tengo? In Zahra mi bini che si ne marrà Tagaligo barderide desde el pecho si ne marrà si ne a la garganta. viento con la lija de sus ramas. La herida que tengo in Zahra mi bini. ¿No ves la herida que tengo desde el pecho a la garganta? In Sachen. In Sachen.
So,
Mm.
thanks for your patience. Thanks for hearing.
I have a question,
Yes.
Farzia. I hear sounds of flamenco in this piece with a very guttural voice, chest voice. Is
Yes.
was that an influence? Did you listen to flamenco because of the Spanish
Um,
language?
um, Even I think it had some sources. The first, from begin on, I knew that Salome Kammer can sing in the low register. This was important. The second one, so somehow this was also my impression from her. So her very special art of singing.
Mm.
Then certainly the Spanish mood of this poem. This is a very lovely poem. It begins as a love song, and then somehow later you don't know, is it a political situation? What is this? Also, it's really, really great. And the third, I think, for the situation I was writing the piece, somehow I also needed this very low, not controlled chest voice. Yes. So I think, as you heard, it is a combination of the Spanish text and the Persian translation, because as a child I knew the Persian translation. Later, as I was in Germany, I started to learn a little bit Spanish, and then I could read the poem. So the beginning was the Persian translation, and from Spain to anywhere else in the world. And to that time, I was really in Tehran. I was composing the piece. I guess my lovely sister joined us.
Mm.
Yes, thank you, my lovely sister, for joining us. So I was really in Tehran as I was composing the piece, and it was the first third days of the woman life freedom movement. It was even also not clear if I could fly back at that day. And also in this case, I knew I'm gonna compose the piece for a while, for a year or something like this. And the whole time I was uh, looking for some text for me. And all the time I came back, there was a movement in Tehran at that time, at that years. It was the movement of white scarf on Wednesdays. So the movement was having white scarves on Wednesday, and this was a sign. This was a very important sign. And then was this movement of woman life freedom. It didn't came from now on. It had the history. It had the texture in the society. And then it was then exactly the movement. It was also somehow difficult to write this between Tehran and coming back here, and then here. The last days in Tehran, it was very, very, very weird. We were not sleeping the nights. Where my parents live, we could hear the demonstrations, and yes, it was very hard nights. And then suddenly I was here and everything was going on. It was everything quiet. So it was a big challenge to change from there to here. And but I think it was the safe space of this piece. I was in the piece, in this changing mood. But anyway, from Spain to Iran to anywhere to Germany to China, to Taiwan, it stays the same question. It stays the question of togetherness and how we can find the steps to this togetherness. And I stay with my absolute answer of no to any source, any kind of violence and war. As I mentioned this because this was coming back to what I said at the beginning, this very huge disaster of split between the Iranians right now. Yes. So
Maybe we'll open to others. Does somebody have a special question for the last 10 or 15 minutes to Farzia? Apart from thanking you, really very, very interesting and moving.
thank you all.
Otherwise, I would have a little question, but I'm waiting.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I think it might interest everybody to know roughly what did decide you to come to Germany? What did you do before? What did you study before in Teheran?
The very clear answer is studying. I wanted to study composition, and I think I don't stop to repeat this, that Germany is a wonderful country for music. We have a wonderful history of supporting the art, the music, in different ways. And I think the landscape of Germany, the musical landscape of Germany is really wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Well, let's hope it'll go on. You know what I mean?
We all have to try.
We have to try with
going
what
on.
just was voted. But anyway, yes, of course. And did you study composition before you came to Germany?
Well, my official studies in Tehran was at the Technical University. I studied electronics and engineering.
Wow.
So, but beside this, I was doing music the whole time, and I had private lessons in composition, but I have never studied this officially. So exactly one more reason to decide for studying composition here in Germany.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. So.
Okay, any more question maybe from the numbers? As it's wonderful. I've counted like about 20 persons being here. This is really great.
Yes, thank you all. It's, as I said, it's again for me myself, it's a kind of reflection when I start thinking about all these things and the process of working and the result. Am I happy? So it's great to share this with you all. Yes. So.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. And also to the interpreters of your music, who were very, very good. That's always
also
so
my
important.
thanks to all fourth.
Yeah.
Yes. This is important.
Okay, Farzia, I think.
Yeah, I have one last
Very
question.
good.
If we want to share this recording, is there any publisher of your score or someone else who don't want to like that we share this video?
Um, the good news is the both scores. I have the copyright, so
Okay.
publisher, and I guess none of the musicians will be against public.
Okay. Okay.
I've,
Thank you.
I have one question.
Albert.
For example, you said you studied here in Germany music. If I ask you, what was the main impressive thing you learned when studying composition?
Oh, mm, ooh. So I came to this point last week. So I repeat what I said last week. This is somehow difficult, but I think now it's already almost 19 years of living in Germany, composing. I think one of the most important things was at the moment, so it is also not a thing of this moment. This was also process, and this is a process. Forgetting your own ego and coming to music. This was a process for me in each rehearsal. Not in the first years of being in Germany or getting the rehearsals and so, but so slowly understanding. So it's about the music. I'm there for the music. And so, I mean, we are all somehow all composers here. We know this difficult situation of coming to a rehearsal, the first rehearsal. I'm dealing myself with my score. I'm trying to understand the musicians. I'm trying to understand the rhythm. Is it right? Is it not right? The color. So we are very, very busy. But I think I try, even it is sometimes I don't manage to do it, to forget all this thing and to understand, okay, what is the problem going on now in the ensemble? Is there a problem there? Is there a problem of communication? What do they need? Do they need, yes, now that I talk more? Or do they need that I don't say anything and they have time for themselves? You know what I mean? So this art of coming to others.
And it was important for you to learn this experience inside studying, because it's practical work.
It is practical work, but it was a process in all this 19 years, you know. So I can mention it as a result of my studyings of being a composer today, you know, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
So I answered from another aspect, but I hope I could give you an answer.
And yeah, you could. And you said you have seen here a broad landscape of music.
This is right.
And you told you have your Iranian background.
Yes.
And was it easy to combine both? And what did you find as what is the center of your work? Was heißt es das? Die ganze Palette, the whole.
Ja. Also ich glaube, es war in der Tat unglaublich wichtig für mich, to work with colleagues from all over the world, and this was from Japan, from Germany, from Italy, from China. I think it was. I think as I came, I didn't have this this wide view, and I couldn't speak any word. I couldn't understand any Spanish. This was a gift, which I have to thank my study in Germany as in the class we had the colleagues from Latin America or something like. So I think you understand what I mean. This is what I mean also, that we have in Germany right now a wonderful landscape in music, because it has so different aspects, and every person is so different. So I'm always thankful because of this. I say gift.
Yes,
thank-
that sounds as if you found a kind of community of
Yes, but
spirit.
ich glaube, es ist wirklich viel mehr als nur Community. Es ist eine Erfahrung, eine tiefgreifende Erfahrung, so viel von anderen mitzubekommen, und zwar wirklich von aller Welt, wirklich von aller Welt. Und diese von aller Welt sein bringt so krass unterschiedliche Aspekte. Und ich
We'll say it in
glaube,
English. Farzia, we'll say it in English. A
yes,
deep experience of
exactly. And at this
internationality.
point about being Iranian, so once a person told me, okay, I think your music is not, she said me, really, she told me, so your music is not interesting for me. I cannot do anything because it's not Iranian at all. So I didn't say anything, because for me, myself, I wouldn't compose this alla garganta if I was not an Iranian. It would be totally another piece. So it's something should not necessarily use the Persian modal system to be Iranian. I mean, the fact that I am Iranian. So the piece is written by an Iranian composer. So exactly. I think what I've learned in my studyings in Germany was the way to the composition, understanding the way dahin, the way into the piece, the way into the structure. And also part of this study is also these experiences I mentioned before, how I go to a rehearsal. I think this process, it goes on after the studies, but it is the whole part of this study and after study. And yes. Am I speaking in the direction of your question?
Yeah, I understand. So you learned how to communicate what you want to communicate.
I understood to say what I want to say.
Yeah, that's what
For
I mean.
example, in this piece of Asphyxia, ich wollte diese Hilflosigkeit einfach zeigen. I wanted to show this state of helplessness. And I think this is what I've earned in this 19 years.
Yeah, but expressing this is beyond helplessness.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what you did is beyond feeling failure.
Yes, yes.
It's communication.
Yes, that's right.
As a composer.
Yes, that's right.
Huh?
That's
Absolutely.
right. Absolutely right.
So that's how to overcome the feeling of failure.
Yes.
Well,
That's
thank
so
you
nice.
so much, Farzia.
Thank you all. Thank you, Norman, for your questions.
Thank you, and bye-bye to everybody.
Bye.
Yes, you all
Till
did
the
it.
next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Many thanks. Many
Yes.
thanks for a very interesting evening.
Yes. Also, thanks to everyone from outside Germany who joined us.
Very international, just the theme of your evening.
So, bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.